before you start the video, if you guys want me to predict the year-end champions by the end of year 2025, the UFC champions by the end of the year 2025, get this video to 50 likes and I'll drop another prediction video for year-end champions. So get this video to 50 likes and I'll drop that prediction video. But enjoy. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be reacting to my predictions I made at the beginning of the year for all of the champions who I thought would be champion by the end of the year. So I predicted every single weight class who I thought would be the champions by the end of the year 2024. And now we're here at the end of the year 2024. How many of them did I get right? Let's see. Let's rewatch the video. Like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, see what I did. How well I did with predicting the champions. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be predicting champions by the end of year 2024. So predicting it before the year starts. And let's see who will be the champions by the end of the year. But I'm going to give my predictions for who I think will be. And I don't think clearly better than everyone currently in her division. I don't think no young prospect or anyone that's kind of around her is going to change that. I mean, Rose Namajunas is 2-0 against her. But Rose Namajunas is currently come off a loss at Flyweight. She might come down to 115 and try cash trilogy fight with Weili Zhang, and that could be interesting. But even considering that she's 2-0 against Weili Zhang, I must be in a furnace here. I just feel like Weili Zhang has evolved and improved since then. But yeah, it's definitely a good, a good threat. But I just gotta say, I just feel like Weili Zhang clearly better than everyone currently in her division. And also she's still in her prime and still getting better. So it's hard to see her losing that belt this year. So for the women's flyweight division, I predict that Weili Zhang will be still UFC women's flyweight champion. So there are currently, about 11 divisions? Because I think they got rid of the women's featherweight division. So I did all divisions. I didn't just do the men. I did the women. I did everybody. So there are 11 divisions. I'm currently 1 of 1 for my predictions and 1 of 11. So good start. Start off with a good prediction. Weili Zhang still the champion, strawweight champion, women's strawweight champion. Now to the next one. So in the next weight class, we have the women's flyweight division. And in the women's flyweight division, I predict that Erin Blanchfield will be the champion, or the UFC champion, by the end of year 2024. So I airballed that one. So now, 1 for 2. Blanchfield did not become champion. She did not fight for the belt. She did rebound and get a win over Rose Namajunas. That's good, but did not get the belt and not seemingly going to get the belt because Manny Fiorot beat her pretty handily. She didn't have no success there, and I don't think she's going to have no more success in the rematch that she had in the first fight. Maybe somehow Valentina beats Manny Fiorot, and maybe that gives Blanchfield a chance with her grappling, maybe. But the shocking thing of all, Valentina was able to get her belt back. Did not expect that to happen, but Valentina got her belt back. But yeah, I airballed this one. Let's see a little bit of why I predicted. Let me see my reasoning from the me from the past. What did me from the past think of why Blanchfield would be champion by the end of 2024? I just feel like she's just the best overall, or I guess she's the best overall fighter in the weight class. And let me practice what I preach and like my own videos. So it's that easy. So you see a video, hit the like button. You support the channel. You support me. You mess with me like, oh, you think I'm this, I'm that. I should have more subscribers, more viewers. I'm speaking like that. So whiteboards. You think I should have more subscribers, more views, more this, more that. And you aren't liking the videos. You aren't sharing the videos. So if you feel I should have more, should do this, should do that. Like, comment, subscribe. It's all free. Like, comment, subscribe, share. But yeah, practice what I preach. I like my own video, so if I could do it, you could do it. But back to the video. And that's typically who's the champion, the best overall fighter, the most well-rounded and whatnot and everything. And I think she's evolved. She's still very young. She's still improving. And you see her striking come along pretty well. And I know you got Tatiana Suarez there. Grosso's still the champion. But like, no disrespect to her. And Valentina Shevchenko still. I do think that she is a good matchup for Aaron. I mean, she's a good matchup for Grasso. I know Grasso will win the rematch, and I still think that Blanchfield should beat Grasso if they do match up. And yeah, at the time I did think Blanchfield was this well-rounded fighter, but her previous, like her recent fights have shown that her striking still has a long way to go. I think that Jessica Andrade fight, fooled me a lot. And the Talia Santos fight to an extent fooled me a lot. But yeah, that Fiora fight definitely exposed her a lot for her lack of striking. Yeah, I don't think she becomes champion. I don't think she's gonna beat no Suarez. She could still beat Grasso. I think she still has a good chance against Valentina Shevchenko, but she's not beating Manny Fiora. Don't think she's beating Suarez, and probably a couple other people coming are probably gonna beat her as well. But yeah, she's definitely in the mix, but I don't see championships in her future. But hey, I got this one wrong. And another thing, I forgot to do this. I'm like a couple minutes into this video. Maybe I'll cut and throw something in at the beginning. Yeah, I'll just throw it in at the beginning. So instead of trying to edit it in right now, but I'll say it here, and also we'll jump it in at the beginning of the video. But if you guys want me to do another predicting the champions by the end of, I guess, 2025 or by the end of the year, so one for 2025, get this video to 50 likes. So simple task. There's 6,000 subscribers plus on here. Probably about 100 people going to view this, maybe 200, maybe 300. But yeah, share, so maybe 1,000 people could view it. But yeah, 50 likes on this video. Get this video to 50 likes, and I'll make predicting the 2025 year-end UFC champions. So I'll predict the champions who I think will be champions by the end of 2025. So get this video to 50 likes, and I'll drop another one of these videos. Not me react. I'll react again at the end of 2025, but I'll make a prediction video for that. The next coming days or the beginning of 2025, I'll make a predicting the champions by the end of 2025. But yeah, get this to 50 likes, and I'll do that. And I'll also, again, will drop this at the beginning of the video as well. So y'all will have seen this twice if y'all watched far enough. Still live, but I think Valentina Shevchenko will
that reality did not end up happening. So let me go to the next one. The next one, that's the real bad one.
Flyweight. Now on to the next weight class we have in the women's bantamweight division. And in the women's bantamweight division, I predict that Myra Bueno Silva will be the champion by the end of the year. I think she's evolving.
And this one's actually worse than the is it worse because Myra Bueno Silva did fight for the belt. Did she win? She did not, but she did fight. So I guess it's better than the Blanchfield one because Blanchfield did not even get to fight for the belt. But yeah, Myra just sold in that fight, and that actually was one of my bad points of the year, to be honest, because I did lose a lot of money on that one, and it was a bad prediction. It was like picking Myra Bueno Silva was not that bad, but I think I went high confidence for some reason, and that's one of the only few high confidence picks I got wrong the whole year because I put more confidence than I should ever have put in Myra Bueno Silva. And it's not like the first time she really just looked bad. She looked bad in some other fights. I think it was a fight she went to the draw. The Fiora fight at Flyweight, she looked bad in. But for that reason, I put a whole lot of confidence in her to beat Raquel Pennington. Just for Raquel Pennington just to grind and outwork her and dominate her down the stretch. But yeah, it's not like those signs weren't already there. I just thought that I could never see Raquel Pennington being champion, so it was factors outside of Myra Bueno Silva. And anytime you start leaning too much to outside factors instead of just focusing on the fighter in particular, that's how you could get yourself set up for a very bad night. And that was how I started the year. I think as far as betting, I started the year negative, largely because of this fight right here and this prediction. And Bueno Silva, yeah, but ultimately I rebounded and end the year positive. I made good money, turn positive well, probably middle of the year or whatever. But anyway, they all paid out well. I made some money out of the year. But this pick definitely stunned me and made me be more precautious and do this and do that. But yeah, all in all, this was pick itself wasn't bad, but the confidence was the issue. Yeah, Bueno Silva came out hot, burned out. And do I think Myra Bueno Silva is going to be champion now? Or does she have a good chance to become champion now? I don't think so. Especially with what's her name right there? She has a good chance against Juliana Pena, but Kayla Harrison's going to dog her if they do ever fight.
I think she's lucky that some of her, I guess, other opponents are other stylistic matchups and other fighters aren't in this weight class to really challenge her.
And again, I was saying as well, like, Amanda Nunes has left, Manny Fioras at Flyweight, so like, who she got? She got Raquel Pennington. Raquel Pennington's she's not really good at anything in particular. She's a veteran and whatnot. She's tough, but that's the one you should be able to beat. Juliana Pennington has been submitted like 2 times by strikers. That's somebody you could beat. And again, it was not the best talent at that weight class, but I think she dropped 2 fights that year. Yeah, she dropped 2 fights. She got cut after that fight and lost to Macy Chiasson. And at the beginning of the year, she burned out against Raquel Pennington. Pennington just outworked her and dogged her. So yeah, 2 wrong. I'm not gonna count this one right here.
Featherweight champion.
I picked Norma Dumont to be the featherweight champion of women's MMA, well, women's UFC MMA. But that weight class is no longer here, so I'm not even gonna count this one. So luckily for me, I could not count this one because that weight class is not here. So at this point, I'm just one of 3. I had Zhang, but I got one Zhang, the Fiora, and yeah, not that's it for it. Zhang, and I had Blanchfield, and I had Bueno Silva. Yeah, Bueno Silva. So I'm 1 of 3. This don't count.
It's kind of a tough sell, but
on to the next. And this is an interesting one right here. Y'all already can see the pictures at the bottom.
Predict that Manel Kape will be the UFC's flyweight champion by the end of 2024. So I predict that Manel Kape will be the flyweight champion by the end of the year 2024. I think Pantoja looks shaky. You know, he has some upside. You know,
yeah, maybe in 2025, but 2024 he definitely not become champion. Mokaev was able to beat him. Close enough fight, but Mokaev clearly won. Also did not predict that Mokaev will get cut from the UFC. That was very interesting. But Mokaev might come back late 2025. You know, he's still very, very young. So Mokaev definitely has a lot of potential within him. But yeah. Manel Kape did not become champion. So now I'm 1 of 4 for my predicting champions. So not looking good for your boy as far as predicting champions. My overall prediction record for the year, phenomenal. But my predicting champions, I'm not doing very well with it right here. 1 of 4 so far. Manel Kape did not become champion, but you know he ended the year off good, looking very good, and could potentially get a title fight sometime next year early. And I still think he has a good chance to beat the champ, Pantoja, even though Pantoja already has a win over him. I think he has a good shot, or a good enough shot. But let's hear more what I was saying about Manel Kape.
Great upside. He already has a win over, well, 3 wins over Moreno. He already has a win over Kape. So I think all the people that's kind of probably gonna have the best shot of fighting him before the year ends are like, you know, those 2 times he probably gonna fight this year, well, in 2024, are all probably gonna be people that he has already beaten. So that's good for him. But I do feel like he's shaky. I feel like he will likely beat Moreno again if they fight. I think Albazi a tough test.
And right now, I'm talking about Pantoja. I'm not even talking about Manel Kape. I'm talking about saying like Pantoja is probably only gonna fight twice in 2024, which he did. He fought Usyk at the beginning of the year, and he fought Asakura at the end of the year. So he did only fight twice this year. I was expecting him to fight twice this year. And I thought one of those would be Manel Kape, but I think by Manel Kape losing, if Manel Kape would have beat Mokaev, Manel Kape would have fought for the belt. If Mokaev hadn't, ran his mouth and was trying to bargain with other organizations, he probably been fighting that second fight. But nonetheless, neither guy got to fight for the belt this year. But 2025, I think both of them could very likely fight for the belt.
Test if Albazi gets past Moreno stylistically. I think that could be a tough test for him. But I think right now, if Manel Kape continues to improve on his wrestling defense and his grappling, and with the 5 rounds is a long time to be in with a guy like him who gets better as the fight goes on. And we have seen Pantoja look like he struggles as the fight goes on. So I feel like, and people say his chin's good and whatnot, but you never really want to be testing chin. I feel like Kape can definitely upset him and beat him in the rematch, especially with how fatigued and faded he's been looking, and also how predictable his game plan is becoming. Yeah, he's tough and he's skilled and all, but he can be very sloppy on the feet, and his cardio is very questionable for a champion, especially a guy who wants to be a long-term champion. But it's a good upside that he already has a win over Kape, but I think I would favor Kape to beat him in the rematch. So by the end of year 2024, I predict that Manel Kape will be the UFC's flyweight champion. Now,
decent analysis if that fight ever does come to be. All right.
So the next weight class we have in the Bantamweight division, and by the end of year 2024, I predict that Umar Nurmagomedov will be the UFC's Bantamweight champion.
And yeah, this one right here, this reminds me of my 2023 video where I predicted who will be the end of the year champion. This reminds me of the Ilya pick in 2023 because I picked Ilya to be champion in 2023, but he did not get a chance to fight for the belt in 2023. We know in 2024 he got a chance to fight for the belt, and he became champion. And I think similar with with Umar, he didn't get his chance in 2023, but he's already getting his chance now he didn't get his chance in 2024, but he'll get his chance in 2025. And I think he'll be champion. So I guess I'm already doing my predicting 2025 champions in this video, but a little bit, but yeah, I think Umar will be champion in 2025. But obviously this is the wrong pick because he's not champion. He's not champion now. 2024 is over, and he's not champion now. So yeah, another wrong pick. So what's that, like 1 of 5? Yeah, like 1 in 5 so far. Five champions in, and only got 1 correct so far. Umar did not fight, did not become champion. He did not fight for the belt, but I do think he was a good pick to be champion. But ultimately, he did not get a shot in 2024. So this is yet another wrong prediction for.
And at first, I was going to kind of go past him. I was going to say, "Oh, they're going to just sidestep him and whatnot," and that's very much true. Possible. It's very much possible.
And they did.
Possible. And I know, like maybe O'Malley wins, and he kind of catches Dvalishvili early in the fight, and then so it don't turn to a wrestling. Like, he catches him trying to come in, kind of similar. Some other fights have been able to hurt Dvalishvili, and he maybe use that limp and he catches him. And also like not like Sean O'Malley has never really lost or necessarily struggled grappling wise in his UFC career, so it's not like it's a track record of him like just having issues with grapplers necessarily, but or established track record of him struggling with grapplers. So maybe I was thinking like trying to.
Now there is kind of established track record because Merab did put a grappling clinic on. Merab Dvalishvili did put a grappling clinic on Sean O'Malley in their fight, and now Merab is the champion. But yeah, I'm not gonna drag it too much. Like, if y'all want to watch the video, y'all can watch the video. Go back and watch the video. And even if y'all don't want to watch the video too much, y'all want to support me, then go watch the video. It's only got like 114 views on it, maybe 115 now or something. But yeah, go watch the video, leave it on in the background, make it background noise or something. Maybe leave it on the background, mute it, like it, and let it run through. But yeah, support your boy, like the video, watch the video, leave it on in the background, do something with it. But yeah, I'm gonna speed through it because yeah, if y'all want to watch that 2 minutes, maybe 20 minutes or whatever, or even however y'all want to watch it. But as far as me reacting to it, I'm just gonna kind of jump to the predictions themselves. So 1 of 5, I think, at that point.
Now to our next weight class we have in the featherweight division, and by the end of year 2024, I predict that Ilia Topuria will be the UFC's featherweight champion.
So another one correct finally. So I'm 2 of 6 of predicting champions by the end of 2024. So 2 of them are predicted: Weili Zhang and Ilia Topuria.
And I thought he would be the UFC's featherweight champion by the end of year 2023, but he never really got his chance or his title shot in that year because I'm not Ilia. I mean, he never got his title shot in that year because Volkanovski, had 2 fights with Islam Makhachev, and that held him up. He had 1 defense at featherweight, and he had 2 losses at lightweight, so he didn't have his 2 fights, or at least his 2 fights at featherweight. If he had 2 fights, he would have fought Ilia Topuria, and I predicted Ilia Topuria would have finished him. But now he gets to start this year off fighting Ilia Topuria, and I think Ilia Topuria beats him. I think he stops him. No insult to Volkanovski, but I think he's clearly starting to get to that 35, 36 mark. And I think Ilia Topuria has a great style and great build. He has a great, he's set up well to deal with Volkanovski. By no means a cakewalk at all, but I do think he wins, and I think he should win that fight. I think he should win that fight in the distance. And by winning that fight, he should be the champion. And I know Max Holloway is a tough test for him, if he gets past Volkanovski. But I think he'll rise to the occasion and be able to beat Max Holloway, or maybe some other things will happen. Maybe Max Holloway will move to 55. We don't know. But yeah, that'd be, I feel stylistically wise, will be a tougher fight given the fact how tough Holloway's chin is. He never even been dropped. He's been wild, but he never been dropped, never been stopped as far as strikes.
But yeah, we know how that went. So I predicted he would beat both of those guys, and he did beat both of those guys in the same year. And he also went above and beyond. He not only was the first guy to really wobble and rock Max Holloway, but he was the first guy to drop, knock out, and stop Max Holloway. So he just the whole lot of things that no one else has ever done. So kudos to Ilia Topuria, and great year for him. So got that one right. Then the next one.
For who will be the champion by the end of year 2024 is that I predict that Islam Makhachev will still be the champion by the end of year 2024.
So that makes 3 with 3 of 7 on predicting champions. Islam Makhachev is the champion still. What, 3 defenses in now? So that one was correct.
I just don't really see necessarily no viable threats. Armas Yakima looking pretty okay, but just before his last fight, he looked questionable against a journeyman. He got rocked and was hurt. Struggled to put him away, and then he stopped Beneil Dariush, who was coming off another brutal TKO loss. So it's not like you fought Beneil Dariush, who even all that being said and not being said, Beneil Dariush never really had a stellar chin. To be honest, he has been used to getting started.
Listen to that all for a bit, but you get the gist. I still feel the same. I feel like, is there really any like really interesting matchups at lightweight right now? I know a lot of people love Charles Oliveira, but in my opinion, he's not no interesting matchup based off that first fight Islam and Oliveira had. Oliveira performed embarrassingly, tapped out very quick, so I don't really care to see that matchup. Arman, like, I don't really feel he does anything particularly better than Islam. Then you got your Dustin Poiriers and Gaethjes, and like, yeah, I know Poirier overperformed, so good for him, but I'm not particularly so interested in any matchup that he currently has at lightweight. At least probably not in 2025. Maybe 2026 someone else will come around that will be interesting. Or maybe in 2025 they'll build himself up to be interesting. Then 2026 there'll be a good matchup. As far as in 2025 itself, I can't see no one really building himself to be some interesting matchup for Islam Makhachev. So yeah, probably see Islam being the champion by the end of 2025 as well if he chooses to stay champion. So yeah, if he chooses to stay champion, probably gonna be the champion by the end of 2025 as well.
Starts early in fights, even by fighters that should not start them early in fights.
Another interesting one.
Vision. And my prediction for the UFC's welterweight champion by the end of the year 2024 is I predict that Shavkat Rakhmonov will be the champion by the end of the year 2024.
But this spoiler, I'm losing track of how many ones I got right and wrong, but I think I already kind of skimmed through this video. I think I got 3 of 11 right. So terrible percentage as far as picking the end of the year, the future champions for divisions. Terrible record on that. But yeah, Shavkat's an interesting one. Predicting he'll be the champion. And I think in this video I did kind of give him a lot of props. But as the year went on and he started fighting Gary, I started to kind of take some of those props back. And even after Ian Gary, I'm taking even more props back. Not to say that Ian Gary's bad, but yeah, I think the hype definitely was overboard with Shavkat. Not to say he's a bad fighter or he's still not gonna do this or not gonna do that, and not get too much into that. But I would say for one thing for sure is he definitely is overhyped. And not even an insult to say that, he just overhyped. And he can always go back out there, put the work in the gym, and bring all the hype back and be just as good as he was supposed to be or expected to be. But yeah, leading to that, Ian Gary Fowler is like, let me look at this guy. Who he beat? Wait, he beat an old Wonder Boy. They just took down and grappled with. It's not like y'all struck him. He just grappled him. A 42-year-old Wonder Boy. What did he beat? Neil Magny or something? Neil Magny. Not impressive. And went life or death with Jeff Neal, who was a good fighter, but if you really supposed to be this good and that good, you're supposed to destroy Jeff Neal or make it look easy, I guess. Not easy, but more dominant. You shouldn't be all getting your lip bust up, getting rocked and wobbled. So that wasn't a good look. And so it's not like he really did nothing so phenomenal. Like he was running through Kobe, running through Usman, and I don't know, doing some crazy stuff, or already beat Ian Gary and stopped him in the first round. But nah, like when he fought his first real young other great contender, it went to a close decision. So, but I don't have no prediction right now for no 2025 change. But again, if y'all want me to make that video, dislike the video, get it to 50 likes. So if y'all want to see that video, get this video to 50 likes. But yeah, this is me just running through this. So I'm gonna go on to the next one. Shavkat still has a good chance of becoming the champion, despite how close the last fight was. They don't really, one fight don't say it all, because people have a bad performance, people have a close performance. At the end of the day, he went in there with another young, talented, undefeated prospect, and also they had history together, training together, so it's a lot of factors going in there. And there's really no harm in having a close fight with another good young prospect. But you definitely got to bring your A game when it comes to fighting for the belt. Because that's also a whole nother different ball game. So he went from one different ball game to another different ball game. If they do award him a title shot, which he should get.
By the end of year 2024, I predict that Shavkat Rakhmonov will be the UFC's welterweight champion. Now on to our next weight class we have in the middleweight division. And by the end of year 2024, I predict that Israel Adesanya will be the UFC's middleweight champion again. I think he sets up pretty well to be champion again. I feel like there's definitely a lot of different questions, especially coming off a loss and getting up there in age. Even though he might act younger and appear younger, and we might feel like this guy's 30, but he's kind of like 34 or 35. And you like say he's not as young as we thought he was, or never was as young as we thought he was. But I still think he can become champion. And the good thing for him is that he already has wins over pretty much everyone in the weight class. If Cannonier somehow gets a rematch with Strickland, I think Cannonier has a good shot to beat Strickland. If Cannonier is a champion and fight Adesanya, I think Adesanya should still beat Cannonier the same exact way he beat him before. I feel like Adesanya should beat Dricus du Plessis. I'm not saying that's an easy fight at all, but I think he beat Dricus du Plessis. I feel like he can make the adjustments to beat Sean Strickland, but I think Sean Strickland fight.
But that's that one. He lost to Dricus du Plessis. Never got a rematch with Sean Strickland. But that we know this one is wrong. He was doing well against du Plessis at points, but ultimately ended with him getting submitted. And du Plessis did much better on the feet than anyone thought he would. So another wrong pick. And again, I already said I only had 3 correct ones. If I do another one of these videos, I'm gonna try to be much more correct. But all you can do is try. These end of year predictions, like trying to predict the champions at the end of years, are definitely all in the long shot category, unless you're dealing with really dominant champions like Islam or something, or Ilya will turn into a dominant champion, which he is already shaping up to be a dominant champion if he chooses to stay at featherweight. But hey, even Ilya got some interesting matchups if he chooses to stay at, like, well, are they really that interesting? I feel like Mavzar could be potentially interesting. Diego Lopes could be potentially interesting, but I don't feel like they're that big of threats for him. But I feel like those are matchups he should get out the way before he moves up. But who knows? Yeah, I feel Mavzar, Evloev, and Diego Lopez are interesting matchups that Ilya should take before he even considers, going up to lightweight and trying to be a 2-division champion. But yeah, yet another wrong.
Tells matter than you proving to be this or that. It definitely was not. And by the end of year 2024, I predict that Jamal Hill will be the he'll be the UFC's light heavyweight champion. So once again, undisputed light heavyweight champion, Jamal Hill.
And I know if anyone made it this far, I know y'all gonna be laughing at this one. Like, Jamal Hill? You're such a casual. Jamal Hill be champion? And I'm okay with taking that. I thought Jamal Hill will put on for the hood and get a win, over Pereira. And I also predicted that fight that Jamal Hill will win. So that's one of my worst predictions of the year, predicting Jamal Hill would knock out Pereira, but ultimately didn't come to fruition. He did not become champion. That also did not come to fruition, and get another wrong prediction. But definitely more of a wishful prediction, and it clearly showed how Pereira was able to dispatch him. And I know Jamal Hill is, so wishful and so hopeful that he could get a rematch with Pereira and he could beat him the next time around. But based on how that first fight went, and based on how Jamal Hill is acting right now, and based on Pereira's accolades and striking, which made especially in hindsight, it makes it extremely crazy that you would pick Jamal Hill in a striker to beat a world-class 2-division kickboxing champion in a striking battle, especially a kickboxing battle, is really insane. Whether you think about hindsight or think about at the time, it's kind of crazy, especially crazy. But Jamal Hill not become champion. I think we fought one time that year and spent the rest of the year just talking trash and whatnot, and Jamal Hill just did not do what he needed to do. That's all. And really, at this point, unless Pereira retires, I don't see him becoming champion. I could low-key see him beating Ankalaev. I could low-key see that. I definitely see him beating Jerry Prohaska, but Pereira, he not beating Pereira. He could beat the other guys, but Pereira, specifically, he not beating Pereira, because Jamal Hill is not no grappler. He has never shown any great offensive wrestling, no great submission skills, no great cardio for grappling. So He not all of a sudden going to go out there and grapple up Pereira. That's not going to happen. He's going to strike with Pereira, and Pereira's going to knock him out just like he knocked him out before. Can't see nothing else really happening in that one. So as long as Pereira is there, I think Pereira is the worst stylistic matchup for him at the weight class, and maybe in the whole sport. Maybe in the whole sport, as far as heavyweight or light heavyweight. But nonetheless, another wrong pick.
By the end of the year 2024, I predict that Jamal Hill will be the UFC's light heavyweight champion. And there's definitely some tough matches for him, but by the end of year 2024, I predict that Jamal Hill will be the UFC's light heavyweight champion. And now, last but not least, the UFC's heavyweight champion, and by the end of year 2024, I predict that Tom Aspinall will be the UFC's heavyweight champion.
Yeah, I predicted what's his name? Tom Aspinall to be the heavyweight champion. He did not become champion. He did not get a chance to fight for the undisputed belt. He has defended his interim belt against Curtis Blades, avenging his loss to Curtis Blades that he lost via injury. But as far as fighting for the belt in 2024, he did not get that chance. John Jones pretty much held on to the belt, had injuries, and then fought pretty much Stipe at the end of the year. So Tom Aspinall never got a shot. My prediction, really, I'm not going to even get into this. I'm going to say it myself because you might as well hear me say it because it's also me saying it in the video, but I'm going to say it myself because just to speed it up a bit and not drag it out. But my thoughts were that John Jones would have his super fight or his legacy fight with Stipe, both veterans of the game, greatest heavyweight of all time, or greatest UFC heavyweight of all time versus the greatest light heavyweight fighter of all time and greatest MMA fighter in general of all time in John Jones versus another GOAT, again, Stipe. Fight him, beat him, defend the belt, walk off into the sunset. But it's seeming like John Jones is still entertaining a couple fights. Maybe say he wants to have like 3 more fights potentially. So I'm guessing one of those is potentially Aspinall if the money's there. Pereira, if you know, that's a super fight by itself. Don't need no. Well, I guess he'll get paid for it well. So Pereira. There may be one other person. I don't know who that third person will be. Maybe he'll fight Tom. Maybe fight what's his name? Fury. What's his name? Tyson Fury. Maybe he'll fight Tyson Fury or something. Tyson Fury talking about MMA. Maybe Anthony Joshua will have a big money fight, boxing versus MMA, and MMA matchup. Yeah, maybe that'll be his third fight. Maybe. Or maybe Ngannou somehow would come over to UFC. Maybe a cross-promotion fight. But I can't really see too much matchups for John Jones. Maybe he'll have a rematch with Dominic Reyes if Reyes somehow wins the belt. Then they'll have a belt versus belt fight or something like that. But I don't think John Jones, if he is holding on to the heavyweight belt, I don't think he'll give Dominic Reyes the chance to fight for a belt without him getting a chance to fight for another belt. Like, he wouldn't offer up his belt and Reyes not offer up his belt. I don't think John Jones would ever do that. So, yeah, it wouldn't be a case of Reyes wins the belt that they'll fight again. It'd be a case that Reyes would have to vacate his belt and come up and fight John Jones or something. But that's a potential one. But the only ones that stand out is 2 fights that John Jones would have with the rest of his career would be Aspinall, the future, and Pereira, another stud legend, certified legend of the game. 2-time Glory Kickboxing champion and 2-time 2-division UFC champion. That would be a big fight. So those are the only fights that I could think of. The other fight, third fight, I really don't see no one else. It got to be something that's, something else. But I picked Aspinall because I thought John Jones, again, would win his legacy fight and walk off into the sunset, which he should have done. I don't know if he's going to still do that. Still potential that he can do that in 2025 and just walk off into the sunset. Nothing signed in paper yet. And there's still a very good chance that Aspinall wins the belt, the official belt, in 2025. And I still think that John Jones will retire this year. I don't think he'll have 3 fights. I think at most he'll maybe have 1 more fight. And I think regardless whether he fights again or not this year, I think John Jones will vacate the belt. So maybe he'll have 1 more fight. Maybe it'll be Aspinall, win or lose. He'll probably still walk away without the belt. Like, if he beats Aspinall, he'll probably walk over to the sunset after that fight. If he loses to Aspinall, obviously Aspinall will be champion. So it's like, regardless, kind of like Aspinall will be champion. Probably, if Aspinall loses to John Jones at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, then probably by the end of the year, he'll be fighting for a vacant belt. And Aspinall seems like far and above the best fighter in the heavyweight division outside of John Jones. Like, far and above. You take John Jones out of the equation, Aspinall seems far and above better than anyone else in the division is right now. Well, I'm not going to say far and above, but I would say he's a clear candidate. Because there's definitely other people that can challenge him in other departments. Like Ciryl Gane can challenge him in the striking. But we've seen Ciryl Gane struggle with Volkov in the grappling. And we know Aspinall is a much better grappler than Volkov. And also he's dealing with injury, so we don't know how quick he's gonna return. And Volkov probably gonna get that vacant title shot if because he's not injured. He's gonna probably return quicker than Ciryl Gane, despite Ciryl Gane beating him. Questionable decision. Volkov is the more healthy fighter at this point because I think Ciryl Gane broke a couple toes, so that's gonna take some time to recover. And also he's probably gonna want to work on his grappling some more and work on some weaknesses in his game. He's not gonna be so quick to jump into a big matchup with Tom Aspinall. So it's probably Volkov who's gonna be fighting for the belt next. If John Jones does vacate and Aspinall needs a dance partner, it's probably gonna be Volkov or Jelton Almeida. By the way, I think those are both good matchups for Tom Aspinall. So I do think that John Jones does vacate the belt in 2025, whether it be early or late 2025. And I do think by the end of 2025, I think that Tom Aspinall will get a shot at a vacant undisputed championship, and I think he'll win that one. So yeah, I do think that. So that's another prediction to me for 2025. I will again make a full video of this for 2025 if you guys do get this video to 50 likes. But otherwise, this really has been a video. I went 3 of 11 predicting champions. At the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, predicting the champions that will be the champions at the end of the year. I went 3-11 on those predictions. So I didn't perform the best, but yeah, if y'all want my predictions for the year-end champions of 2025, again, get this video to 50 likes, and I'll be dropping another video. But otherwise, that's been all. And that's all, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and that's been the video. Peace out.